Hello and welcome to episode 40 of our Ostriv Alpha 4.7 Let's Play. It has been a very, very long time, almost 2 months, since I put out a video on this game. And not a whole lot has happened, just been pretty busy doing some other stuff, went on vacation, had a good time, but it's good to be back. I know last time we were messing with orchards and expanding the town and all sorts of good stuff. We do have these two other ones that are not quite at maturity. It's still going to be a little while before these are bearing any fruit, but this one is bearing some apples for us, and it did a little bit off screen as well. We have up here started building off camera. We had these 7 houses I built, and I've modified these a little bit to hopefully try and grow some more before they start harvesting. So here's where we're at now. We're at Alpha 4.7.7, which is a couple more hot fixes added to just do a little bit of maintenance and fixing bugs, and a couple of other things like putting the messenger notification over here instead of down here in the hotbar. I guess you would call this a hotbar. So we're going to have to get used to relocating that. But other than that, the game hasn't really changed too much, although I'm pretty sure Alpha 5 is not too far away. We will find out exactly what happens with that as we get there. But for now, all we can really do is just, keep on keeping on, as we are wont to do. And for us, that means trying to get to 2,000 population up here. And that's going to take quite a bit of time just because everything is so stinking slow now, because the town is so big. And we actually have a shortage of jobs, believe it or not, presently, because I fiddled with a little bit of the laborer settings. So I think I'm going to have a way to kind of fix that. And what we're going to do is go over here to our market stalls. We have all these resource supply things. These are all supplied by pretty much anyone who's available. We're going to go over here and we're going to increase the laborer limit from 4. Let's go up to 8 and see what happens with that. Just hit apply to all. And that should eventually help give a few more jobs and also help prevent us from having as much of a cataclysmic shortage of firewood going through these different market stalls. But of course, they're never going to really have any more than they need. That just gives them the option, should they need it, to have a little bit more help getting stuff done. So that being said, getting to 2,000 is going to be a little harder than I originally thought because we don't have enough jobs presently. And I don't want to add a ton more infrastructure because that also takes up resources in terms of things like wood and stuff that we're not exactly swimming in, so to speak. But what we can do is we can identify areas around the map that we want to add some more houses to and get that moving. I know up here definitely could use some more houses. This is not entirely built up over here. And I think probably most of this part of the map, I'm not going to build any more houses. Probably no more houses down here either, even though we have all this extra space right here. That is going to be most likely more industrial stuff, maybe some more farming animals type things. So we're going to focus most of our housing development up here in this area, and then also up here around this farm and these orchards, and maybe put a couple things in there. So part of the problem of not having enough jobs available is we're not going to get any more people in until these are all actively filled. So you can see now we do have some open vacancies, and that looking for a job number has gone down. It's just going to take a little bit more time to get that taken care of. So that being said, a lot of this video is probably just going to be time lapses and time skips because honestly it takes so long to get anything done here. It just does not make for very interesting viewing. But we can go ahead and put another construction office up here because Lord knows we're going to need it. So we're going to identify a place to stick that. We do have the school right here. So why don't we go ahead and just plonk this right down next to the school, give it a little bit more space around it. And once that's done, that'll be another, I think 7 or 8 jobs. I forget exactly how many will be doing that, but they'll get that taken care of. We're going to save again because it's, still a thing. Right, so that's taken care of, and we'll let them build that, and we will get on with the rest of our lives here. So while that's taking place, they aren't going to start construction on anything until they finish that anyway. So let's find out exactly where in these environs we would like to place more houses. I think it would probably behoove us to put in a couple up here. So we'll go ahead and use our favorite little F1 tool to get this area lined up a little more, and the game really is not having a good time right now. The game has become substantially destabilized at this population level. So we're going to have to be diligent about saving, because this thing is really not going to have a good time. And I'm not sure if it's even going to let us get to 2,000. We're just gonna keep on doing our thing, because that's pretty much all we can do. So we got 2 houses right there. We'll put another 2 over here. Just make sure these are roughly lined up. It's going to be a little difficult, but shouldn't be impossible. Just have to make sure that the lines are kind of straight, and even if they're not, who cares? We're just having a good time, right? Okay, so we got that there. 4 there ought to help a little bit. Then we'll put 1 more right here. Looks like that's more or less where that needs to be. Not quite straight, but again, doesn't really matter. That'll be a little bit of stuff for them to take care of. And they are very slowly supplying here. Looks like that won't be a huge issue, because once that's done, we can just start doing more and more builders. We are going to save again. And then I like to always do stuff like this, so I have, if I can type correctly, 1783, not 1673, good lord. There we go. So I have multiple branching saves in case something goes completely horribly wrong. And let's try to stick this on 5 times speed and see if the game will let us do that. So it looks like they've got most of the stuff. It's just a matter of getting everything built up. I do think we're going to build some more wagon sheds and some cart sheds. But I do want to get some more houses built here. Because now we have people looking for jobs and no jobs available, no housing available. So, you know how that goes. Just one of those things you gotta just do. So let's check up here. I know we have these 3 wagon sheds, and they are almost always busy. Except, not 100%, but they are in use. We just need to make sure that we're able to get everything moved and put in the correct spots. Yeah, now it's starting to really bog down. Now, as far as food stuff goes, we have a pretty good supply of most of our stuff. I'm not entirely sure how sustainable it is, but we will get to that when we get to it. If we come back over here to our orchards, yeah, these apples aren't going to really be doing anything probably until the fall. And I think these are almost at 2 years since planted, so definitely not this episode. Hopefully before we get to 2,000 we'll be able to have, what do we have in here? Cherries and apricots. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, they're still very, very slowly building this construction office, but once we build one up here, that should give us a little bit more of an army for constructing. We might even build another one of these because we have so many people looking for jobs. Actually, in the middle of summer, I know a bunch of other positions open up, and it's about to be harvest season, so hopefully that will help fix some stuff. Now, it's very curious to me how you have this clay not all the way to the bottom of the wall. Is that just a graphical glitch? I've not seen that before. Usually it starts at the bottom and goes all the way up. Maybe I'm just wrong. We'll see. was kind of hoping they'd fix this while I'm sitting here. Because we really don't have anything else to do. Okay, there they go with some of that. Maybe that's just the design of the thing. I don't know. Well, at least the people in the carts walk over these platforms instead of phasing through them now. That was always kind of a strange thing to look at. Okay, it's almost done. Almost done. Awaiting 200 clay. That's probably these two right here. Yep. Now someone just needs to come along. There it goes. They put the roof on, and then they'll be good to go. Then we will put them right to work immediately. Still love watching them build the stuff after all this time. It's nice. I'm too afraid to put on 12 times speed at this size of a town. Even on a beefy computer, it's a bit much. Okay. There we go. That's all done. We're going to go ahead and hire our builders. This guy is stuck. There we go. So now we have... I figured it would have hired people already. Interesting. Well, they've already started building up here, kind of. So we'll let them get these houses done. And then once these houses are done, then we can think about what we want to do with the rest of this area here. Because this is not perfectly square, even though it looks pretty uniform, but it's not entirely perfect. I do have to figure out what to do with this. It's probably going to be another wedge-shaped house lot. But I don't know if I'm going to have space to fit an entire house lot in here with how the game likes to manipulate boundaries and stuff. So I think, because of the way this is set up, I don't know that I can actually fit a house here. But we're going to try. We are going to try. I think I can put his entrance here. That I think is the best side to put it on, because then he can get into all this other stuff. If I can squeeze the house in this corner of the lot, I can. Oh, that is fantastic right there. That is wonderful. Actually, I wonder if I could fill up the entirety of the space here. That might actually work. That's kind of fun. Yeah, we'll do that. That'll be an interesting way to just fill that gap a little bit. And his doorway will be over here. Doorway, gate, whatever you want to call it. Alright, so where did I put that thing? Oh, here it is. Okay, so we have our guys hired here. Still have open vacancies. I think having the men also work as laborers for market stalls is a good idea. Maybe not universally for all seasons. But I think I have the laborers at the farms being paid more anyway. Yes, I do. So that should not incentivize them to do anything but farm laboring, which is good news for us. Alright, so I still have to get used to the messenger thing being over here. Let's see, what else? We have plenty of iron. I think we really have pretty much everything we could need that we actually can make. We're doing pretty well on. So now it's just a matter of selling what we can sell and keeping track of everything else that's going on. See, potato, we're actually not making enough food. Long term, at least. We'll probably have to put another farm in here. I imagine it will be this corner of the map, so I don't have to mess with markets up here. The reason I'm building houses here is so I don't have to build another marketplace, because every time you build a marketplace, you delete the supply chain, and then you have to really mess with a whole bunch of stuff. But they are moving right along on these houses here. We do have quite a good contingent of builders, and we'll probably put a couple more of these construction offices in, because we have Some of them in areas that we're probably not going to be building in for a while. So I know we can go ahead and put another one. Another one up here, probably, it's a slaughterhouse, probably up here. Would be a good place for one. Just pop that right there, and then we can put something else here when we get there. We have cart parking. They are actually not all in use, so that means we don't need to build any more currently. We'll go ahead and move this construction office up a little bit in the queue. So they are making good progress here. We have more, oh, he's the teacher? He's the teacher at the primary school at 19 years old? It's kind of questionable. Guess maybe not in 18th century Ukraine, but I don't know. I guess you can be a substitute teacher in a lot of places in the United States when you have a high school diploma at least, so I don't know. I'll stop talking about that since I really don't have any idea. But even if we can't have any immigration, just having these young married couples occupy these houses is going to be good long-term for our population growth. So we'll keep doing that. We've got this one hopefully will be built relatively soon. But before we do a time lapse, I do want to get more houses laid out here. So we do have these entrances to the gardens on this side, so I think it would behoove us to have these over here kind of match up with that. So we'll go ahead and put one there. Put one here. We'll put another one here, but use F1 to kind of move the house around a little bit. And then on this side, we're going to rotate. So his entrance is over here. And yeah, it gets really dodgy when you get this close to other places, but fortunately, I managed to line this up relatively nicely here. We'll go ahead and put him here. Go ahead and hit that save because we can. And now we have a pretty nice assortment of stuff in the queue. So we're going to go ahead, as soon as they get this construction office built, we're going to go ahead and do another time lapse and let you guys watch this stuff get built up and see from there. Alright, and that is that queue all taken care of. Get that off 12 times speed before I lose my mind, and hit save before the game loses its mind. So we now have this area a little bit more built up. We actually were pretty close to equal on vacancies and jobs. Finally got this construction office all finished up as well. And now we're just about out of time for